A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Lunchtime News, come to you live and direct from the Newsfirst Centre here in Colombo. I'm Florine Rajendran. Let's now take a look at your headlines. A foreign national who smuggled heroin in his abdomen arrested by the customs. Startling revelation on the jellyfish along the coast. Special program to curb the spread of deadly influenza. On to those stories in detail now. 34 suspected heroin capsules found within the abdomen of a Pakistani national who arrived in the country has been taken out from his body. Customs media spokesperson Leslie Garmini said that the heroin capsules were found when the Pakistani national who arrived at the island yesterday was admitted to the Negombo hospital on suspicion.
A Pakistan national has been arrested by the customs at the airport yesterday. He arrived here from Dubai at 1:30 p.m. by EK 348 flight. There were 34 capsules have been found so far. He has been admitted to the Negombo hospital under customs supervision. Investigations are being carried out by the customs narcotic control unit at the airport.
Say no to drugs. National program to raise awareness to stop the rapid spread of drugs across the country. Phase 1 on the 26th, 27th and 28th of June in the Northern Province, covering all districts. Phase 2 in the Southern Province. Phase 3 in the Central Province. Phase 4 in the Eastern Province. We will visit your home to create a drug-free country. Say no to drugs. A social responsibility undertaken by Sirasa, Shakti and Newsfirst and the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board.
Now also the police special task force has arrested a security guard and 2 other employees of the Kulanawa Urban Council on charges of drug peddling. The police said that the suspects were arrested last evening based on a tip-off received by the police STF, where it had seized over 330 grams and 420 milligrams of marijuana from the suspect's possession opposite the Kulanawa Urban Council. The police added 2 more suspects were nabbed at the time with the possession of marijuana upon exiting the premises of the Kulanawa Urban Council. Health sector trade unions point out the importance of adopting expedient measures to control the spread of the AH1N1 influenza virus. Chairman of the All Ceylon Nurses Union, Garmini Kumar Singh, noted that providing the services to patients should be made more efficient in hospitals.
දකින්නේ අවදුරටත් මේ වෛරස් ආසාදනයේ පැතිරීමේ අවදානම රටපුල වැඩි වෙලා තියෙනවා.
We see that there persists an increase in the risk of the spread of the virus around the island. Due to this virus spreading to groups of all ages, several deaths have been reported. Therefore, as a medical union, we point out that steps should be taken to curb the menace. Especially the number of patients arriving at hospitals for treatment have increased drastically. Therefore, there persists a need for equipment to fulfill the needs of the patients and also for the curb of the virus as soon as possible.
Meanwhile, Director of the Epidemiology Unit at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Pabha Palewardhan, stated that a special program is underway in hospitals to curb the spread of the AH1N1 influenza virus.
The treatment needed by the patient could be obtained from the OPD if it seems to be a normal virus. Likewise, if expectant mothers are infected with fever, cough or cold, they will be treated immediately. The Ministry of Health has provided us with the essential medicines and it will be used at times of need. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health states that 30 persons have died owing to the influence of the H1N1 virus. Senior Secretary at the Epidemiology Unit of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Atulalina Pathirana, states that 10 expectant mothers were among the deceased.
In 400 BC, the Greek philosopher Plato proclaimed that knowledge is the food of the soul. By 1096 AD, the University of Oxford opened its doors, and yet knowledge eluded many. Knowledge is free. Knowledge is freedom. The Newsfirst Online Academy. Coming soon.
Deputy Minister Lakshmanyappa Abeyewardene says that the Sri Lanka Freedom Party dividing into two is disadvantageous for the party itself. The minister made this statement at a public meeting held in Malinbad area in Mathura.
මේ රටේ දේශපාලනය තුල පොඩි ප්‍රහෙලිකාවක් තියෙනවා.
There is a little puzzle in the politics of this country. That is the amount of effort we put in towards achieving victory for Mahinda Rajapaksa as president again in the previous presidential election. It was after that a meeting was held in Nugegoda, and where this story about the position of Prime Minister came along. That was when this issue cropped up. If the Sri Lanka Freedom Party is divided, it will only be disadvantageous for the party. However much people praise the UMP in this country, the UMP remains unpopular among the rural community.
කොච්චර කට්ටිය ඇවිද්දත් ගම් ඇතුලේ එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ ලොකු පිබිදීමක් නැහැ.
UPFA parliamentarian Kalia Rambukwala says that there are no attempts to reverse the victory achieved in the country. The MP made this statement while addressing a public meeting in the Aluvathugoda area, which comes under the purview of the Akurana Pradesh Sabha.
The law should be enforced. Those who have committed wrong should not be pardoned. But see where this country has ended up after taking revenge on those who have not done anything wrong by just making up laws. Whatever work that was done for the village is what is considered as a crime today. Today the government is blaming us, saying that whatever we did after obtaining loans. We have no intentions of reversing the victory that was achieved.
These were the views that were expressed by a group of United People's Freedom Alliance parliamentarians at a convention held in Panadura.
They promised a colourful democracy, much like a rainbow. They said they will be smart when they take over power. They said they will capture all the thievery and put all the mega dealers behind bars. But what happened? The only institution that functioned over these 100 days was the FCID.
මේ රජයේ වැඩ කරපු එකම ආයතනයේ FCID එක විතරයි. ප්‍රාදේශීය සභා මන්ත්‍රීවරයාගෙන් පටන් අරන් පාර්ලිමේන්තුව.
Starting from the Pradesh Sabha member all the way up to the parliament, we were divided. But now we in Kalutara, who were divided, have now embraced each other readily for the battle to safeguard Mahinda Rajapaksa. We are now binded like a stack of firewood.
Moving on to one of our top local stories, environmentalists point out that the blue-coloured sea creatures, which have been a common finding on the shores of the southern and western provinces, are in fact not jellyfish as first thought. Environmentalist Jagat Gunawardene notes out of these species have been identified as Phaselia, which come under the Colenterata category. Meanwhile, officials of National Aquatic Research Agency conducted investigations of the Pulhena coastal belt in Mathura this morning. The objective of this investigation was to obtain the required samples for their research.
Environmentalists point out that the marine species which were found along the western and southern coastal belt of Sri Lanka and were initially identified as jellyfish are not just one species but a combination of many marine species. Though there have been reports of fatalities upon contact with the animal type from around the world, environmentalists say that no such incident has been reported from Sri Lanka as yet.
Many have
mistaken the species to a jellyfish due to its similarity to a jellyfish in appearance. However, this marine species belongs to the coleterran category and is known as Phaselia. Although we see these marine species like one animal, they actually live in batches. They are similar to corals.
Health authorities warns people to be cautious of these species as they point out that if the poison enters the human body, it could lead to death.
From what has been discovered so far, its venom is enough to kill a person. That is, if a considerable amount of venom enters the body. Thousands of poisonous cells present within these marine species. These cells release toxic poison when in contact with humans and eventually make way into the human system. The poison released to the human body results in severe pain and redness on the skin. Doctors advise that if such symptoms begin to show, to immediately seek medical assistance.
Moving to one of our local stories now, Minister Gayantha Karunatilaka says it is the objective of the current government to use public funds for development activities. The minister made this statement while addressing a program held in Badegama.
The event was held to provide relief for small tea owners. Under good governance, the people gave us the opportunity to stop corruption, fraud and the unnecessary spending of government funds. We cannot keep our mouths shut and ears closed after receiving an opportunity for such a gift. If work was halted in the past, we could have stopped this too. The money was not divided. If not, we could have engaged in another task with another name with the money. Without doing that, we plan to set up the second step.
Well, that's a wrap of lunchtime news here at News First. You can keep abreast of these stories and much more by simply logging into our website www.newsfirst.lk. For the News First team, I'm Florine Rajendran. Have a wonderful day ahead of you.